What is going on, guys? Skism here. So a lot of you guys watch my videos and some of you have messaged me, what sort of recording software do I use to capture my footage? So I thought I'd do a tutorial on the programs I use, and so hopefully some of you guys will find this helpful and set this up. So I use OBS Studio and I use Shadowplay. So I'll give you a rundown on how to set these programs up and give you the pros and cons on both of them. And if you guys find this video helpful and you do end up doing this and you want to learn how to use video editing software and how to make like thumbnails and all that stuff, I use Sony Vegas and Adobe Photoshop, but I'll save that for another video if you guys want me to do something on that. So first off, we got OBS Studio. So go to OBS Studio. I'll put the link down in the description, but you can also have a look at the link just up here in the top screen here. Select the platform you want and then download OBS Studio. Select the folder, install it. Once you install it, I'll drag this across because this was on my other screen here. I'll go through some of the settings in a second, or what the scenes are and sources are. But for the most part, you guys want to go up to your settings here. I'll cover the streaming, not really. I'll kind of focus more on the game capture, because if you guys do want to do streaming down the track, I can show you how to set that up. So at the streaming at the moment, this is Twitch. You can set it to YouTube. You can put a key in that links up to your streaming username, but we'll focus more on the game capture side of things on this video. So with your output here, streaming, don't worry about the streaming thing, won't focus too much about this one. We'll jump across to the recording. Make sure you go up to output here and select advanced. Some of this stuff is actually grayed out for me at the moment because I am recording and it won't let me kind of edit the software here. So with your recording path, that's just where you want the files to save when you're recording your gameplay. So you can select the spare hard drive, because these games do take up a bit of space when you are recording here. Recording format, make sure it's MP4. That way it can run in most video editing software programs, and the file is the perfect sort of size. Audio tracks, depends on how many audio tracks you want to have. I've got 2 here set up, so when you record, you can have 1 audio track set for TeamSpeak, 1 for the game capture. So when you do transfer it across into your video editing software, you can change and edit individual audio tracks, so it can be helpful down the track. With your encoder, there's 2 encoders. There's the I don't know what you want to call this, the NVENC-H264. This is for your NVIDIA users. So if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can select this, and it'll use a portion of the graphics memory to record your software. It has a separate driver for that, so it's really good if you want to have your processor to focus more on power, whereas the other ones use your 264, which is for your processor. So depending on what you have, if you've got a really good processor and you don't want to give up as much graphics, you can select it on the 264, or if you've got an NVIDIA graphics card, you select that. So that's just what I use. Your rescale output, you want it to be in full high definition. You can change this, you can put it up higher if you want to record in a higher output here. We jump down to your rate control. There's different ones here. CQP, that's what you want to select it to. With the rating or the value here, I have it at 18. You can make it higher, but the higher you make it, the bigger the file is going to be. And at 18, it's going to be sort of a lossless quality of the game footage, of the game capture you're recording. So you can follow the settings I've got up here. Jump across down to audio. For my first 2 audio tracks, I've selected 320 bitrate, not 160, because you want to capture the best audio quality as well as get your really good video quality. So that's what I've got selected here at the moment. Jump down to audio. If you want with your audio, some of you might have, your devices actually selected to different things. In my volume mixer, I've just got mine set to default at the moment, so that I've just selected default. But if you have a look here, I've got different ones here, different speakers, BenQ, different ones here with the microphone, different microphone recording. So I've just got mine to default set here. Jump across to your video down here, and with the base scale, resolution, and your output, just have this at full high definition, because that's what you want. With the downscale filter, with the Lansoz sharpening, scaling, I think it'll be at 16 normally. You want to put the samples to 32 to get better quality. And with the value of what you want your game capture to record at, I've got mine at 60. You can go lower if you want, but you'll find for most first-person shooters or a lot of full-on action games, having 60 frames can just allow to capture that at the better quality, so there's no kind of glitching or not as laggy. So that's what I've got here. At the moment, we're just for hotkeys for just stopping and recording. Mine's F5 record, F5 to stop. I'll set up more binds later down the track, but I've just got a new computer, so a lot of this stuff's just fresh here. So this is what you've got set up here. You can create a scene for it. Then within the scene, you can select what sort of display capture, if you want to be a game capture or display capture, and you can rename it if you like. For this purpose, I've got mine as a display capture, so everything that I do on my computer right now, you can see. For my game capture ones, or my game recording one, you can see here, they'll just capture my game footage. OBS is really good too because you can add, camera overlays, you can add microphones, different settings. You've got voice activation, you can constantly have your microphone activated. There's just so much more settings you can play around with OBS. So this is what can make it, quite a good game. So if you guys want to, you start up Ark Survival Evolved, just say, or any game. So we'll load into this one here. At the moment, this is just to give you a brief example of how you can just do it. But once you got this foundation set up, it's that simple. So let me go back into here. So just right now, if I want to start recording my game footage, I would press F5 and it would start recording. And it's honestly, it's that simple. If you got two monitors, what you can do is you can set it up on your other screen, your OBS, which I'll show you. Don't mind these icons just up here. This isn't part of OBS. This is part of my Shadowplay that's running in the background, and I'll briefly go into that just in a few moments here. I'll go while this exits out. So with my game capture, what you could do here is you could add another game capture. That's all you have to do is go on the plus sign here, click game capture. You can rename it whatever you like, but that will add it to here. This one, it's the display capture. So OBS is a really good recording software program for streaming and for game capture. You do depend on if you use the processor side of the recording or your graphics card. You can drop a few frames, but honestly, it's unnoticeable. OBS is still really good. So when I play, I normally drag it off on the side screen, so you can't see it right now. It goes off the screen. So I just have it set up here. So Shadowplay. Now Shadowplay is another really good recording software program. That's what I use, or what I've used for majority of all my other programs, because it comes built in with the NVIDIA graphics card. So you need an NVIDIA graphics card to use this one. And so you download your GeForce experience. And what you make sure that you share your games up here. Unfortunately, my thing's grayed out. I think there's a bit of an issue here. Normally, most people can click on settings, but it doesn't really matter. So I can just go down here, go to general, go down to my settings this way. You jump in your HUD layout. So I've got my camera. If you want to add a camera, you can select where you want it to be. Your status indicator. So this lets me know if the game's recording or not. So it comes up green if it's recording, and if you're not recording, it's not green. And it appears over your overlay when you're recording in your software, but when you actually view the footage, you won't have the FPS counter. You won't have the game, this little icon up there. It doesn't show up with your game recordings when you record the footage. With the FPS, I like to have an FPS counter, so when I'm recording my gameplay or see what's going on, I can actually see my FPS constantly. So this is something you can just set up here. You can make it bigger or put the position where you like. So that's what I've got set up there. With your keyboard shortcuts, I haven't changed anything. Honestly, Alt F9 is what I use majority of the time, just to toggle manual recording on and off. So I toggle it on, the green light comes on. I toggle it off, the green light goes off. It's that simple. Go back down to your different recordings. You can select your path where you want the game file to be saved. Keep in mind, with Shadowplay, it records a little bit. The file sizes, it doesn't drop any FPS, and your file sizes are a little bit small compared to OBS. That's what I like about Shadowplay. Broadcast is for streaming, that sort of stuff there. So you can just go through here, gallery. These are just some other things here. I don't really use any of that. You don't need to use any of that. So what you can do is you can go to recording, you can go to customize, and you can select the quality of what you want to record. Normally it's on 50. That's honestly 50 gives you a lossless quality. You can select the frame rate of what you want. We want 60 frames. It's that simple to have it set up, to be fair. So I'm just going to exit out of this one. I'll minimize this. So Shadowplay is kind of always running in the background. It's always going. You can turn it on as well. So if you've got it activated or GeForce experience, it should be running all the time. So it's always going to game capture what you're recording. So we'll jump back into Ark here. So unfortunately, it won't show you, I don't think, because I've got two recording software programs showing at the moment. But I'll give you a quick example when it loads up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video so far. I'm just going off the top of my head making this video, so I'm sure I might have left out a few things. So if I want to start recording footage, I just press Alt F9. I haven't actually pressed it yet. The FPS is just going up and down at the moment, but if I press Alt F9, it'll go green up the top here. I'm not sure if it's going to show for you guys or not, but normally it goes green here, shows the FPS. But Shadowplay is honestly that simple. Once you've finished recording, you can go Alt F9. It'll go away the green light. I'm not sure if you can see that at the moment just because of the two recording softwares. I'm not sure if it's going to pick that up on the display here.
So I thought I'd quickly give you guys an example of what Shadowplay looks like. This game I'm playing at the moment is called The Hunter Call of the Wild. It's an amazing game. The graphics quality is absolutely stunning, the nature. So I'll release a video of this game very shortly later on this week to give you guys a quick rundown. But this is just the quality, and I'll quickly show you what OBS is like in a second.
So this is the quality in OBS. I'm not sure what the difference will be in quality, but I guess we're going to find out because I've never actually compared them side by side. But this is the recording right now. I absolutely love the quality of this game. This game is so phenomenal. So this is just to give you an example of what OBS looks like and Shadow can look like, or Shadowplay can look like. They're both very good recording software programs, and I'll pop you back to where you can go to find the file saves once you record the footage. So it's pretty straightforward. Once you've recorded your footage, so once your footage has been recorded, you can go to the file or path of where you've set it. I've got many folders, many hard drives. So just the moment recordings, this is my recordings for my OBS at the moment. And with Shadowplay, what's really good is it automatically creates a folder for your game footage or the file path where you save it. So it knows you're playing ARC, so it'll create a folder, and there's just some of the footage here. So that's where you go. And once you've got your footage in a location, what you can do is then jump on. I use Sony Vegas Pro to edit my videos in Adobe Photoshop to do thumbnails and customize photos. So that's for another video, I think. But if you guys found this video helpful and you want me to go into more in depth on how to use those programs, I'm more than happy to show you. So this is just a quick rundown. Obviously there's other recording programs out there, but these two ones I think the most common ones used at the moment. And because people who have an NVIDIA graphics card and maybe they don't have a really grunty computer that can support OBS, running Shadowplay is just effortless for it. So that's why it's really good. The only downside with Shadowplay I find is that you got push to talk. So if you want to talk and record, you can push to talk, it means every time you want to talk, you have to push a button down, and it can be quite annoying because if you're talking in TeamSpeak, you got two buttons you need to press, or the microphone is on constantly. That's why I think sometimes you guys can hear my keyboards or sometimes my breathing because it's constantly on. So with Shadowplay, that's what it's like. With OBS, you can have it to voice activation. So that's why I'm going to slowly transition across into that. And I've got a new computer like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So that's why it's very, very barren right now. Don't even have a background set. So yeah, guys, hopefully you found this video. If I've left out a few things or there's some more information you want to know, definitely put it down in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them and, get back to you with that. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more videos and I will see you in the next video.